Hey, happy last couple days of July. I mean, as I'm filming this, I'm not sure exactly when it'll come out right now. It's crazy how time flies by. Sometimes we wish we could just slow down that clock, can't we?
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great!
So maybe you had some plans to buy a home in the past, or maybe going into this year, 2024, it was a goal of yours to buy a home and you still haven't yet. Maybe something quickly in life has happened and you're ready to move on to that next home. In that case, if you do have a current home, you should probably check out my previous video on selling in 2024. Hint, a lot of these tips mirror each other. Same market, but different perspectives when you're buying and selling. Whatever the reason may be, if you're looking to still try to buy a home in the second half of this year, 2024, let's dive into some key points to keep in mind. I'm Baggio, local real estate expert and realtor here in the Phoenix metro area. Check me out on social media. You can check out my website for my bio as well. And don't forget to check out those helpful buying and selling tools located in those separate tabs. Enough about me. Let's dive into the 3 key points to keep in mind if you're trying to buy a home in the second half of this year. First key point, rate cuts. Disclaimer, I am not a loan officer. So this is information from me just being in the industry, being an expert, being on the realtor side, and having all this information at my disposal and talking to leaders in the industry. If you don't know, housing interest rates correspond to a lot of the rest of the economy, with metrics tied to CPI reports, unemployment reports, and overall inflation. It is highly anticipated that rate cuts are supposed to occur throughout the second half of this year. Now, nothing, I repeat, nothing is a guarantee.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
But if you have been waiting for rates to drop, now might be the time to start prepping to enter back into the market. Rate cuts and rate drops mean higher affordability for homebuyers, and in the long run, that's less interest on your mortgage. Key point number 2, the presidential election.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
They mean you, sir. Oh, yes, of course.
Look, I am not getting political in this portion, but to build off of what I first mentioned, what you might not realize is that historically, economic measures tend to improve leading up to an election. Whether it's someone really trying to get elected, or the markets are starting to react off of who they think is going to be elected, there are many moving pieces to what tugs and pulls coming down to November. Now, I've talked to a lot of people buying, selling, whoever may be investing. Really not investors, it's really just primary buyers and sellers that are saying, I'm gonna wait until after the election. Honestly, I think it's just more of a pushback to keep pushing their goal down the road. But if that is also the case, think, if everybody is waiting until after the election, what's gonna happen?
You can't wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life.
Highly elevated competition is gonna just spark up right after November. So it's something to keep in mind, because maybe we get you in a home before you have to pay more and compete with more people for that same home. Topic number 3, what goes up must come down and vice versa. So during and after the COVID-19 pandemic, rates hit historic lows, housing competition was at an all-time high, and inventory and home building was severely crippled with logistical issues, high costs, and labor shortages. Then our economy knee-jerks into inflation spikes, rate hikes, and just overall uncertainty across the board when bouncing back as to what's going to happen. Why do I say all this? Our housing affordability went for a spiral. Yes, I understand that it might seem out of reach right now, but we have been going through a market correction recently, and many of those housing metrics have come back to earth. There are still plenty of areas that have to improve, but many local markets have or are close to stabilizing. Here in Phoenix and the surrounding areas, we're able to negotiate some amazing deals for home buyers, and it has become a much more even playing field. Inventory has increased too, so many buyers have more to choose from and can work on their own terms. Going through the fall, we expect to see more of the same, except if our conversation up to now shows anything, it's as rates improve and folks realize that there's not a major cliff drop off of this market, the buyer competition will slowly come back. All in all, look, buyers are in a great position to buy right now if you can afford it. Hopefully this insight helps you a little bit more as to see what are some other major factors to consider aside from your personal factors, because everyone's in a different situation and not everything makes sense for everyone. So thanks again for stopping by. I hope this info helped you out in some form or fashion. If you go to my website, you'll see some great home buying and selling tools. Check out my Instagram for many more day-to-day updates and other fun stuff and family stuff and just life stuff combined. If you have any questions regarding the housing market, buying or selling, and especially in the Phoenix metro area, you know where to find me. So yeah, live purposefully and see y'all soon.